And I'm very fortunate to be joined by Tim Newton, the voice of Purdue women's basketball. And Tim, first things first, when you look at this matchup, the thing that jumps out to you at first is Purdue hasn't played in about 2 weeks.
Well, it's always a concern with the NCAA tournament because with the way the Big Ten tournament ends, you've got about a 2-week layoff. Now, the good news is the other teams you're playing also have a layoff. Kansas State didn't have quite as long, but it'll take probably a few minutes for both teams to get their wind early in the game. But it's something that Purdue's gone through before, and Sharon Versup's had a lot of tournament teams here, so I'm sure it won't be a big problem.
And with those first couple minutes, you never know what you're going to get. What are your expectations for this game against 8-seeded Kansas State?
Well, I think anytime you have an 8-9 matchup, you would expect it to be close. If you look at the statistics, these are two pretty evenly matched teams. You would expect it to be fairly low scoring. Both teams give up in the mid-50s in terms of points. But I think it'll be a game probably of runs tomorrow, as most games are, and with the team that can minimize the other team's good run, I think has a pretty good chance of coming out on top. And I expect a game that'll come down to the last minute or two.
And a game coming down to the last minute, what are your keys to victory for the Boilers?
Well, I think the Boilermakers have two really big keys. First of all, they've got to find the Kansas State shooters in transition and in the half court. They attempt a lot of three-point shots. They really kind of live and die from long range. So Purdue has had troubles sometimes this year defending three-point shots. That'll be a big key. And then I think Purdue really has to dominate inside. Dre Mingo's been sensational the last 6 games. She needs to have a big game. Alex Guyton needs to stay out of foul trouble. I think Purdue has an edge inside, but they have to take advantage of what they have inside.
Once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. Once again, Tim Newton, the voice of Purdue women's basketball, reporting from Storrs, Connecticut. Ross Boland, Sports Team 18.